Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Deirdre Travis Brown. I am the Chief of Equity and Inclusion, and it is my honor and my privilege to welcome you all and say Happy Lunar New Year. To those of you online, Happy Lunar New Year. We're so excited about today and hope that those of you who are here enjoyed the spread that was prepared and this whole time designed with you. And those of our colleagues who are online, we've designed this with you in mind. Today we are here to celebrate what millions around the world are celebrating, one of the biggest festivals of the year, Lunar New Year. We're excited to come together to celebrate our rich diversity and to share that with our colleagues and our peers. Today, we have with us a panel of our colleagues and friends who are going to share about their experiences with Lunar New Year, and we're also going to have a lion dance later on. So that's pretty exciting too. We hope that you will all engage with us and join us in this celebration of one another and of this incredible festival. We want to thank our city manager who's going to be facilitating this conversation today, this dialogue, and also to thank the folks from DPW Facilities. These are our ride or dies. They have helped us immensely and we want to thank them. So yes, please give them a hand of applause. They have been incredible in helping us. We did a little bit of a different setup so that we could hang out with each other, chit chat, and have some food, which I call communal. It's fun for me. And with that, I want to transition now so we can get started and hear the voices of our colleagues. And I'll introduce now our city manager, Ian Wong.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we are really excited to share more about Lunar New Year with everybody. I think just growing up, it felt like this was sort of the big day every year. It's almost like, you know, in my house, it was sort of like a Christmas. It was that scale. And so very excited to kind of speak more to that and really appreciate, as we've been organizing these events, we've been thinking, and thank you to Deirdre and Safana and the Office of Equity and Inclusion for really approaching these days in a way that we're trying to pull more city staff into the planning and into participating. And so thank you all for volunteering to be part of this panel. And I think what we'll do is sort of a little bit of a conversation, and we'll just talk about you know what Lunar New Year has meant to each of us and share a little bit about the traditions that have been behind that. But before I jump into that, maybe we could do introductions. And so maybe, Caroline, we can start with you on the end and we'll just go around. But we can do introductions. And then if you can all just speak into the microphone, I think that will help the folks who are online. And oh yeah, and one last thing, just wanted to also recognize, thank you, Mayor Simmons, for being here and for the very festival red that you are wearing. And I believe we also have a couple of other counselors here as well. I think I saw Counselor Wilson with her very cute son and maybe a few others. But okay, Caroline.
Hi, I'm Caroline LeMay. I work in the strategy division.
Hi, I'm Isaac Ken. I work for finance.
Happy New Year. Ken Moy from the Cambridge Police Outreach Unit.
Gong Hei Fat Choi. I'm Imani from the Cambridge Public Library.
Hi, my name is Hang Tang. I'm from Department of Public Works, building operation.
Happy New Year. Buckle Yam, Deputy Superintendent, Cambridge Police. Thank you.
新年快樂，恭喜發財. My name is Carol Chen from ITD.
My name is Sharon Pugh from Finance. Happy New Year.
My name is Ronnie Sun. Happy New Year. 新年好.
Great. Well, thank you all for being here. And maybe just to kick us off, we were all sort of sharing lunch together and chatting about our different traditions and like what Lunar New Year has meant to us. But one thing that struck me is just how differently we all had different little traditions and things that we're doing, but there is a common theme, and that's the red envelopes, the hongbao, and that's been sort of something that happens over Lunar New Year. I wonder if we start there, and what are some memories or traditions or stories you have about red envelopes, and what are they? Does someone want to get us kicked off?
Well, I could show you what a red envelope is because I received only 5. So the older you get, the less you get. So traditionally, this is a red envelope, which is lucky money. It's not only just for the Lunar New Year, but it's also for special events, birthdays, and different holidays that you go through. So, I mean, so when I first became a Cambridge police officer 29 years ago, my mother gave me a red envelope, which I still carry right now, still in my wallet, that emergency $100 bill. So to me, the red envelopes represents family. It's lucky money given to you by your friends and your family, and it's for you to spend it or save it. That's what the red envelope means to me. Anybody else?
Hi. I mean, for the red envelope, as we've seen there, most people think you can put the money, put some candy, put some good wish in there, but I can tell you as the little kid, when I only want to receive the money. Because that's really important. I mean, like when I grew up in mainland China, in the I would say high school or middle school, we all had a competition with my classmates. We try to share what we get for the year. So if you give me some candy, I cannot count it on my competition. And that's why most people want it. Yeah.
When I was growing up, you know, all the married people would have to give you a red envelope. You would always have to say, Happy New Year, 恭喜發財, 身體健康. That means wishing you great wealth and health. And that's the magic word. You always have to say that out of respect. Then they will give you a red envelope. And that's part of the tradition.
Yeah, red envelope is not only just the lucky money, it's a blessing from like the seniors. On the very first day, the New Year's Day, and the kids, people are supposed to visit the relatives or family members or friends. But like, especially when the kids come to your house, and then the seniors will just give them. Of course, they're going to say, Happy New Year, Grandma, Happy New Year, Uncle, or Aunts. They say it like that, and then you are very happy to give them the red envelopes with, with a sort of like money inside. And then on business days, like usually on the 6 days, business reopen and the people come back to work. In some companies, yeah, it's also a tradition for people to give out red envelopes, but may not be just money, and for colleagues, maybe just like this. Lucky candy. Lucky candy, yeah, put the lucky candy in the envelopes. It's a blessing for the new year. Good fortune.
I think a coming for age moment for me this year was, so I got married last June, and so this is my first like Lunar New Year as a married person, and a coming of age moment was certainly when I realized, oh yeah, I'm not gonna get many of these anymore, and now I'm gonna have to start being the one giving out, my husband and I, to like younger, like not only just relatives, but like family, friends. And it's kind of like sad to say, okay, that phase of my life is over, but like this new phase is, starting. So, yeah.
I want to share is what the money can buy as a kid. So I will buy the pop rice. Firecrackers is a big thing, a lot of sweets from street vendors. So it was a lot of abundance memories coming from the red envelope.
Yeah, One thing that we always said in my family was that if you got the red envelopes and you got the money from that, then you couldn't do something like spend it on a necessity. Like you shouldn't spend it on rent. You should spend it on something that is like life-giving, because this is like something that like your family wants you to go do things that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to do. And so you shouldn't spend it on something normal. You should spend it on something extravagant and firecrackery.
Oh, I would say for this one, when I was little, every time when I collect the money, my parents always want to keep it for me. Same with me, right? So I mean, I just say, oh, I would say in the first couple of years when I don't understand it, I will still give them all the money I collected, and I will try to ask them to give me back on, but it doesn't work very well. And later on, we find out, I would say, oh, we only can give him back on maybe 1 or 2 only, and the rest will be paid by myself. So that's why I'm saying for how to use the money. When he mentioned, you can buy something you don't normally get the money from your parents. That's the time you use the money from your wherever or the lucky money from the new year.
I feel like if my kids see this, there's going to be some conversations at home about what's happening to their money, and I might be in a little bit of trouble. But so we started with the gifts, and you know, as with every great holiday, there's gifts, but there's also decorations and traditions around. You know, how do we think about clothes and decorations and what your house looked like? And I remember, at least in my home, it was sort of like a week or 2 weeks beforehand, we would start putting up a lot of red, a lot of signs. We would put words that were upside down, and there was a meaning there. But does somebody want to jump into just like what you remember growing up, or what you're doing now around decorating the house?
Before decorating the house, one of the very important activities for every family is to clean the house. Yeah, give it a very deep cleansing of the house. You just want to not only just like a physically cleaning and make it like a comfortable or nice and neat, but like symbolically, you want to get rid of the clutter. You want to get rid of everything you don't want in the passing year, and make room for the new things in the coming year. So after cleaning, and then you do the holiday shoppings and prepare for the decorations. Everybody, not everybody, most of people just wear red. Almost every girl has like a red skirt, but red is a really important color. And another one is gold. They symbolize the good fortune. Everything is bright, and the burning fortune is coming up. So everybody try to put something in on the door or inside the house with like a paper cutting. Paper cutting, like I don't have a sample here, and you just cut the paper, red paper, in all sorts of design, animals, or whatever you like. So there are a lot of craftsmen very good at doing that, and then you learn how to do it. And also every family, they go to either to the market to ask or to buy some couplets. You put it on the front door, like the couplet from right and right. Usually the rhyming, a rhyming sentence or just a couple of words, and which of course is all about the good things, which best wishes for the new year, and then on top of it you have usually 4 words like a Happy New Year, or this dragon, or dragon in the dragon year, wish you all the abundance, good health, or something like that. And every house will have a character of happiness, and the happiness you put it upside down, because the sound of happiness in China also has the same sound as arrival. So you put that happiness character upside down, means the happiness come in, arrives. So yeah, there are a lot of like decorations, and red lanterns or flowers.
In my household, we do a lot of deep cleaning too, and then my parents always buy new utensils, like new chopsticks, new bowls, and then yeah, that's it for me.
My mother would absolutely hate it because during Christmas we would always make paper cutouts for snowflakes, and there would be paper everywhere, lots of little tiny cutout pieces, and then she would finally do a deep clean for New Year's and everything would be great, and then I would do tiny little paper cutouts of all of the red, and so it would just be like little white pieces of paper and now little red pieces of paper everywhere, and then I would put them up all over the walls, because it's about, and then I don't even know when they come down, because it's just kind of like, they feel infinite.
I want to sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to continue on the papers because my memory of Chinese New Year, our courtyard is all firecracker and the red paper flakes everywhere. And we are not supposed to sweep the courtyard during the first day after Chinese New Year because that means the fortune will go away. So I remember a lot of red, not intentionally decorations, but like red paper snows like all over the place, and which is all over China in every alleys, every streetways. Everyone lit fire the firecrackers before they eat New Year's Eve dinner decorations.
Yeah. In my house, you know, they celebrate the New Year's. Well, this year's the year of the dragon. So my sister calls me up, hey, Ken, do you want a dragon cognac, display? You know, they're selling it at Costco's for $100. You know, do you want me to pick one up for you? And I'm like, no, I don't want it. Well, I already did. So, you know, it's all about, you know, the dragon, the rooster, you know, all the zodiac signs every year. So every year has a different theme, and that was really fun. You know, you would go into like clothing stores. Oh, it's the year of the dragon. They'll have shirts with dragons, and you know, it's pretty fun, and you know, everything's red. So it was some good memories that you know always came up.
Great. And then maybe I would love to hear, you know, every holiday, we talked about gifts and decorations and traditions, but food is such a big part of Lunar New Year. And one of my memories was my dad was really busy growing up, but when I was in elementary school, he would always make time to roll out all this dough, and then he would bring it into classrooms, and we would make scallion pancakes in the class. And so I remember that as just this really fond memory because you know almost everybody loves scallion pancakes, and so we would make it in school and get to share a little bit of Lunar New Year with my school friends. But what memories do you have about food, or what's like your favorite dish as you think about this past Chinese New Year, or when you were growing up?
Well, my mother is one of 6, and her mother is one of 8. And so whenever we got all of the family together, we would, other than the Chinese New Year things, we would also do things like dumplings, where many hands make light work. And so we would just make like all of the spring rolls, all of the dumplings, all of the everything, and then we would eat all of it, and also everybody would have like a big bag of it to go for their freezer or for whatever. And it was just like, in order to make something greater than what an individual would be capable of. So I think about that mostly when I think about the holiday.
Oh, I mean, for the food, I mean, like this weekend, let's say my family just call me, say, hey, Ken, you need to buy a fish for us. And they tell me 3 or 4 times, don't cut the head and don't cut the tail. Please bring back the completed fish, because that's the meaning for us. We want to see everything is completed. We don't everything piece by piece during the dinner. That's why I say, completed fish is really important. So don't destroy that. So say the whole fish will comes out in dinner. It's not rare. It's kind of traditional when you see the people have that dish in the Chinese New Year.
Yeah, I would always say, like, I tell people that I am somewhere between first and second generation of like immigrant because I was born in China, but I came here when I was 4. So I don't have that many, memories of like China. And while we still like go back every few years to see my family in China, my only immediate family in the US is my like nuclear family. So my dad, my mom, and my sister. And we're all very close. And so Chinese New Year was always just a time where we would prepare like a spread that was probably much like what you saw upstairs for like 20 people, and it would just be the 4 of us eating it, and then me and my sister and them inviting over our friends in like subsequent days to eat the leftovers. So I think when I think of Chinese New Year and the food is really a way for immigrant families and like second generation immigrants like to stay in touch with their culture. And so I really think about all the fondness from just like sharing that giant meal with my tiny little family.
And food is a really important part of our Spring Festival because on New Year's Eve, the families usually prepare a lot of food, like over 15 dishes on the table. But you don't want to eat them up at one night, and you want them to be leftovers. So that means you have a surplus carry on to the next year. And Ken just mentioned about the fish. Yes, you do have, each table you do have a fish, and the whole fish, and you're not supposed to touch it because the pronunciation of a fish in China is the same as a surplus, as that of surplus. So you leave this surplus to the next year. It's just symbolic. Yeah.
So,
well, Chinese New Year dinners, most people, families would close the year. Like we were just talking about, you would have a big dinner with your family or friends to close the year. If you have a business, you will have employees and have a closing of the year celebration, luncheon or dinner. Then later on, you would have a Chinese New Year dinner. So it's all about food. I can remember waking up just smelling fresh food my mother made, and my favorite was the shrimp chips. You would always remember the shrimp chips because they were so good. And, my mom would take it aside. No, you can't finish all of them. We have guests coming over. So, the shrimp chips were all my favorite and fondest memories.
So the New Year, like in China, because a big country, so the north part of people would make handmade dumplings, but south part of people would make kind of it's called tangyuan. It's like a stick rice with inside is bean paste and sesame paste. So we mostly handmade, and it's kind of a wish in New Year.
Yeah, that's right. Dumplings, like another meaning of making dumplings is like the people get together, the whole family get together, you do one thing together. So you make dumplings together. Sometimes like you may do it after the New Year's Eve dinner, or you may do it because you got to stay late till midnight because that's the turning point of the lunar year. So sometimes like people like after the dinner they sit down and make dumplings together, and some families they prefer to have dumplings on the New Year's Eve dinner, so they prepare it in advance. But dumplings, yeah, nobody gonna to miss it. And another thing is like noodles. Noodles means longevity. So you got to have noodles, not exactly on the same day, but during the first 5 days you got to have it. Yeah, yeah.
Great. And maybe the last question, as we sort of move toward wrapping up, what are your favorite memories? Like, what is Lunar New Year kind of meant to you? And what do you kind of like want to share with folks about like what this holiday means to you and your family?
The Chinese New Year means a lot to me and my family because I grew up with my grandparents. My grandparents have 5 children. My mom was one of the child. And during the Chinese Cultural Revolution, the family were all came apart because the young people were supposed to go to the countryside. And my grandparents were living in the city. So for me, it means during the Chinese New Year, it means I get to see my own parents, I get to see all my relatives, and my grandma spent a lot of time cooking and prepping for food for almost a week, and deep cleaning, all that. So nowadays, every time when the Chinese New Year approach, I remember my grandparents and I honor them.
I just say for me, the good memory about the New Year is something about the, I don't need to go to sleep very early because the whole family, they're busy. A lot of people come visit us, or we go to my friend or family in the house. So, I mean, it's the time to allow me to sleep very late, past the 12. So, I mean, that's just say, or playing the game, or talking with my friend, family in there, and without anybody bother me because they are busy with themselves. So I mean, just say, oh, it's a good day. It's a time. I would say it's in that day. Most of my family will be coming back to the house. It doesn't matter which day, but I will definitely sure I can see everybody in the next couple of days during the New Year. The whole family will be see each other, do the reunion or something there. So I mean, it's a good memory.
Chinese New Year to me is sacred. You know, you look forward to it. You would wake up and get the red envelope, and you would prepare. You would clean the house, and before Chinese New Year, you can't wash your hair, so you can't. So certain traditions that you can't do. Then you would enjoy meals with families and friends. Then you would watch the lion dance every year, because the lion dance would come out and scare up the evil spirits, so you'll have good luck for the rest of the year. So that's a big, big, important tradition. And you always buy red things, the newest red things, and decorate your home.
Yeah, when you mentioned the lion dance, I'll just say yes. Well, I mean, every year in the New Year, if I'm in China with my family, we will go to some temple or something. They have some competition in there. Maybe they have 8 or 10 teams. They try to be the first one. So a lot of people, they just say, oh, do the lion dance. So, and everyone vote for which team is the best team. So there's a lot of surprising you. Sometimes the lion, they will have something comes up on their mouth and surprise everybody. So I mean, just say, oh, that's very important because everybody want to see that good luck comes out. So I mean, most of the time they will say the color is really, most is red, yellow, that kind of color, really holiday color for the lion. So.
Amani, do you want to wrap us up?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that when it's like American New Year on January 1st, and everybody knows, or when I used to work at a bakery, I used to say that it was diet season up until February 14th when everybody breaks it. Because I would know that that was the slow season. No one's going to buy bakery goods in January, but I knew that by February they would be broken. Everybody knows this. But in Chinese New Year, it always felt sacred to me because one of the things that you do is not only like have new things for the new year, is that you also are supposed to wrap up everything from the past year, and that part is really important. So you don't have any like lingering debts, you don't have any like lingering like contracts or things like that. You have to get your affairs in order. And I think that having those kinds of deadlines is really important too.
Well, I am so grateful for all of you for sharing. And I think we are going to move into the next phase. So stick around. And I think we're going to quickly break this down and create some space for a dragon dance. So thank you all so much.
Year 2024 of the Gregorian calendar, but for the Lunar New Year, it is year 4721, the year of the wood dragon. We're just finished off with the Water Rabbit, and it was known that the Water Rabbit was a year to come together with friends and families and be more restful and somewhat come back and gather and like a retreat. But for the year of the dragon, especially the year of the wood dragon, it is known to be very invigorating, and that, of course, the dragon is almighty and divine. It's the only celestial and mythical creature of the 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. So it is very auspicious, very powerful, and so its energy brings lots of inspiration for folks, and therefore it is a year known for somehow the energy and the stars just align in a way where people will feel like this is it. This is the year where I'm just gonna dive in, I'm gonna do it. So a lot of people may feel like, you know, in past times they hesitate and they don't know when, how, et cetera, but somehow this year it is the year to get it done and to get it started. Also known to be a year full of probably weddings because of just that energy coming together and manifestation of many new things, right? So we're very, very excited as Walam Kung Fu and Tai Chi Academy Lion Dance Troupe to be here and bring everybody here and the city of Cambridge and all its employees great luck, prosperity, successes, good health, and many auspicious things and ways that will manifest in your life. The lion here is known to come and drive away anything bad, evil energy. Its power comes from its third eye, which is the sixth chakra, and it's also been dotted in a way where it weakens its spiritual inner spiritual power. So it's gonna drive away anything that's not good. So this is a time to cleanse and make room for all good things. Right now, we're gonna ask for your help. And if you call the lion to wake up, it's gonna wake up and it's gonna do its job. And in gratitude, we're feeding it lettuce and oranges. And if you do get to catch it, it's good luck for the entire year of the wood dragon. So be on the lookout and be alert and just receive all the blessings you can get today. Are you all ready? Folks, if you're watching this from screen or hybrid, if you're here, the energy is sent through, cyberspace as well. So do know that you're receiving all the blessings the same as these folks sitting around here. Okay, enjoy. Happy Lunar New Year of the Wood Dragon. of you who got the, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? It's green. Yeah. So those of you who caught the oranges, very, very lucky. So the gold and the green represent blessings, prosperity, so lots of blessings. Hope you all got a chance to at least touch the lion. So it's red and gold, and particularly the city manager, you got the letters. So the letters represent, of course, life, for it being green, freshness, but of course also wealth, right? The green, sang choi, so it blossoms. So very, very auspicious and lucky. And also you got the powerful dragon. So the city of Cambridge is well on its way for a good year for the year of the wood dragon. Question from the audience about the lion dance itself or the year of the lunar year of the dragon? I'll be able to answer a couple questions if there are any curiosity about anything. Yes? How long does it take to rehearse the dance? Yeah, so as you can see, it's two people playing the lion. It's a bamboo frame with paper mache and then fabric, so it can get pretty heavy. It takes a lot to learn to even manipulate. Number one, build the strength for that to kind of push and pull and turn. And then there's a mechanism inside to blink the eyes and the ears and moving the mouth to make it come alive. So I did share that the lion itself has to be eye dotted formally in a sacred ceremony to bring its spirit to life. After that, the person has to practice a lot to really become the lion when they're under the lion, right? So the tail has to bend over a lot. And match the movement of the head as much as possible. You can't kind of have a tail go this way and the head goes that way, right? So it takes definitely, I will say, at least 3 times a week for like an hour, 2 hours of practice for maybe a year or 2, just to feel very comfortable. And then over time, like you just not think about what you're doing. You just become the lion and you just do your lion thing. And I always, we do a lot of school performances, school assemblies to educate the children and also to uplift Asian American students whose families celebrate Lunar New Year at home. And so I always say, and that question comes up a lot, and I always say that if the tail does not bend down with its head down, it becomes a camel. So it just has to be the lion, and that takes a lot of work for the tail as well. Yeah, so it's a commitment, it's a passion of ours. We actually had a performance with Boston Public Radio the other day with our youth team doing it, and some big shows such as like Red Sox AAPI Month or the Free Jacks, Rugby's, and some of the big teams around here that are celebrating AAPI and Lunar New Year. So it's been wonderful that the community has been embracing Dragon and Lion Dance arts, and also to really celebrate the ways that many Chinese American, Vietnamese Americans, Korean Americans, and other folks who are from other Asian countries, such as the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, they really embrace, and it's a part of their everyday life to expect lion dance as a celebratory activity. And in fact, yesterday we were dancing at Quincy Market. One person was biking, I believe the day before, from Seaport to Mandarin Oriental Hotel because she missed us by like 5 minutes. So I told her go to Mei Mei Dumpling in South Boston and catch us there, and she couldn't make it. So then she went to the Mandarin Oriental yesterday, and she finally caught us there. But if you would like to see some more, we're actually going to do the Dragon Dance because of the Year of the Dragon at the MFA this coming Thursday. So there will be 2 shows at 5:30 and 7:20, I believe. Was there another question? Another hand or anything? Well, I will share something, last thing, about the dragon. So the legends had it that the Jade Emperor of the heaven had called on the animals to have a race so that he can use the animals to make the, the zodiac. So he wanted kind of a way of telling time for 12 years. And so he invited these animals to have a race, and whoever comes first will be the first, second, third, and etc. Do you know what order the dragon is at? 5th. So it's the only mythical animal in the zodiac, but it came 5th. So the Jade Emperor asked, well, why did you not come first? You're so powerful and almighty, and you can fly. Why did you not come first? And in fact, it was the mouse or the rat, the year of the rat, the mouse that came first. And the dragon said, well, I made some pit stops along the way, and it ended up that the dragon was helping some villagers just to do some good deeds, so he didn't care. He, she, them. They didn't care if they're going to come first or not, so it came 5th. And so the dragon also is known for its nobility. So it's a really, really great year, and Happy New Year of the Wood Dragon. Thank you for having us.